While the retail crowd is panicking because SoFi just diluted them by $1.5 billion, the smartest money on Wall Street is quietly loading the boat. Today the stock is down 8% and everyone is crying dilution, but they are missing one massive catalyst that makes this the biggest buying opportunity of 2026. If you want to know why this drop is actually a gift, stay tuned because the market has this completely backwards. Now, if this video hits 1,000 likes, I'll drop a 1-hour institutional SoFi analysis covering the fundamentals, key levels, and how to trade this name for 2026. And if you're bullish, smash that like button and comment bull in the comment sections below. So with that out of the way, let's get into the news. Now, investors are currently witnessing a high stakes tug of war over SoFi's valuation. While the long-term thesis remains focused on its transformation into a fintech super app, the short-term reality is dominated by a sudden influx of new shares and conflicting Wall Street opinions. Now, as of January 7th of this year, shares are trading at approximately $26, down about 1.7% from yesterday's close. This follows a brutal 7.8% drop yesterday. Now, after opening here at $26, the morning session did see a tight range between $26.36 and $26.92. Now, this sideways movement suggests that the market is trying to find a new floor after the massive sell-off yesterday. And the official news comes in as SoFi officially finalized the sale of 57.8 million shares at $27 per share. This generated a gross proceeds of roughly $1.59 billion, and though this immediate reaction was negative due to the shareholder dilution, obviously by increasing the share count, the ownership slice for current investors is spreading thinner, which often triggers a temporary price reset. Although the CEO, Anthony Noto, is positioning this capital to pay down maturing debt and provide ammunition for massive 2026 expansion. This capital injection makes the balance sheet bulletproof as SoFi scales its AI-driven lending and crypto platforms. Now, this is very high stakes, as all eyes are now on the January 30th earnings call. Analysts are forecasting an EPS of 11 cents per share, which would represent a staggering 120% year-over-year increase. As well, revenue is expected to land between $973 million and $984. Now, if SoFi can beat those numbers, it could trigger a short squeeze back above $30. Now we have to look as well for the longer term outlook. Despite the price drop, the business is thriving. SoFi added a record number of members in late 2025, reaching a total base of 12.6 million users, which is a 35% annual increase. Analysts do expect 25% revenue growth in 2026 as SoFi integrates deeper AI efficiencies to lower customer acquisition costs. Now that we've got the news out of the way, let's look at the chart and analyze the potential for SoFi. Now before we dive in, I just want to remind you guys of our 7-day free trial Patreon membership, and for only $15 a month with Market Mover, you get access to our Ticker Flow AI app, which uses our AI built application, which you can upload your charts and you can determine whether the stock is bullish, bearish, or neutral, and help you outperform the market. As well, every single Sunday we drop our top 3 high alpha trades, including high momentum tickers, as well using their volatility and volume. We give exact entry levels, stop loss, as well as take profit zones. And every single Sunday we give masterclass education and deep dives on options, technical analysis, risk management, and market psychology. Now looking here at SoFi's chart on the hourly, the stock is being detected as bearish by our trend algorithm pro here across all time frames of 5-minute all the way toward the 2-hour, signaling that there is some bearish momentum here. For a quick moment we were getting above our indicator and having very nice bullish signals, but there was a sell-off and it was an extreme warning sign because the RSI did reach pretty much overbought here and was a warning sign that maybe we shouldn't be buying this name at that high. Now the stock here is detected to be a little bit bearish here. We did see a very increase here in the volume, with the stock was down around 7% yesterday, and the volume is declining on the sell side. We do see some buyers coming in and emerging. RSI is kind of trying to form a higher low, so it's trying to form this pattern here to initiate higher upside momentum here. But what we do see is that, if we use an anchored VWAP, right, and we plot from very important highs and lows, so what we'll do is we'll plot from this swing high and we'll mark that as red, and then this other area high that was formed here, we'll mark that as like a lighter red. So currently we are below these two anchored VWAPs, signaling that the sellers do have control of this stock. right now. And then even if we use from the bottom here of this anchored VWAP here from the low that we saw, we are below that as well. So it's funny to see how all these three levels match or form confluence at this exact level zone. They're all matching here around 2750. What this shows us here is that this is a very important psychological level. This is pretty much the level between the buyers and sellers that defines who's going to have control over the next couple of trading sessions. What I would really like to see here on SoFi would be the following. So I'd like to see the RSI bottom out, right? And then we would slowly start to see upward trajectory movement here. So maybe some leveling out here, trick some people that's going to go short, and then we, move up, right? A breakout. And then to be fully bullish on this name, we'd have to break above this area of resistance here, which would now form a higher high formation. So a 29.90 breaker, we can estimate around $30, would be the best case scenario to go long SoFi, as the people that went short here would actually get short squeezed. We would see such an intense momentum here increase on SoFi. Now, if this does happen, this would obviously shift our trend algo pro to full bearish, which is what we want to see, and I would see the stock going on the short term towards my first price target level of $38, and then towards my $47 second price target level here on SoFi. Obviously, this does depend here on the overall macroeconomic sentiment and how the market reacts to any news. But right now, we are in a bullish general market, as triple Qs and SPY are extremely bullish on their charts, and the numbers are there to back it up with very nice, GDP growth. But here on SoFi, precisely, the company is kind of looking like it's trying to find some footing. It's trying to find a bottom here with the RSI, kind of trying to form this higher low momentum level exactly at this zone. Now, for my day traders, I'm going on a 5-minute chart, and the levels that I'm looking out for tomorrow's trade is going to be the following. So we can see here that overall on the 5-minute, the stock is, recovering from this heavy downside move here on the head on Tuesday. And currently we are seeing a little bit of a bid, right? We are kind of seeing accumulation around this zone, around $26.60. We did see the RSI reach an overall level here of oversold, which was a very good indication that, we are starting to see a bounce. But what I really want to acknowledge here and kind of profess here is that if we do manage to get above this anchored VWAP from this high, pretty much here, we'll put it as, say, red, and that is where we found resistance here on this exact date we sold off. If we can manage to find a overall candle and pattern that breaks above here on the next couple of trading sessions, maybe come and retest it and finally get above it, that would be an indication to go fully long on this name, and we can target the highs here that was formed as our first price target of around $29 per share here on SoFi. And what we would see, the RSI, it would be a nice increase here in the RSI, possibly achieving towards 58 or around 59 if this move does occur. We'd also see the overall anchored VWAP slowly start to curl up, which would be very, very good signs, as the average long participant would now start to, be within the money and more likely to defend every single pullback that occurs towards the anchored VWAP, obviously from that swing high. So I'm looking pretty bullish on SoFi. First price target would be $29.49 here if this move does manage to occur, and if the buyers do manage to regain control above the anchored VWAP level. So is the market wrong about SoFi? Well, the headline today is a 1.7% drop and a $20 bear target from Bank of America. Their internal data tells a different story. First of all, you have a company that's growing its member base by 35%. You have a CEO building a full $1.5 billion cash position and a roadmap leading straight to S&P 500. In my view, we are watching a generational fintech winner shake out the weekends. Now, if you guys enjoyed this video, feel free to subscribe to the channel, give this video a like to reach our 1,000 like target, and remember, don't let the markets whip you guys out. I'll see you guys on the next one.